are, Mother.
Thank you, Noel. London seems so far away.
Oh, but it's only a few hours' drive from here.
The view is even lovelier than I remembered.
Oh, the view is always lovely from Hilltop Farm. And there seem to be more and more visitors every year. It's a bit chilly out here. Shall I get your coat from the car?
My shawl, perhaps. Thank you.
While you're up here reading and reminiscing, I think I'll go down to the pond for a little bit.
Your favorite spot?
Well, why not? That's where I first met Jemima Puddle Duck.
Oh, how long ago was that, Noel?
Let's see, this is 1950. So that was 40 years ago. I'll get your shawl.
Tales of Peter Rabbit and His Friends by Beatrix Potter. I know what you're thinking, but no, I'm not Beatrix Potter, and I'm not Peter Rabbit either. But I am one of Peter's friends, and I was one of Beatrix Potter's friends too. In fact, I was her best friend.
Here you are, Mother. While I'm down at the pond, I think I'll go visit the barns and the sheds as well. I'll see you in a bit.
Have a nice visit, Noel. That was Noel. He was Peter Rabbit's best friend. In fact, if it weren't for Noel, there might not be a Peter Rabbit. Truth to tell, if it weren't for my children, there might not be any stories about Peter. The Tailor of Gloucester, the Two Bad Mice, Jeremy Fisher, Jemima Puddle Duck. You know, since you're visiting the farm today, I think I'll tell you about these wonderful animals, and about my children, and about Beatrix Potter herself. But I just realized I haven't told you who I am. My name is Annie, Annie Moore. When I first met Beatrix, I was Annie Carter. I wasn't married then, and I was much younger, of course. I didn't need a wrap to keep me warm in those days, and I didn't need glasses either. My hair was long and shiny, and if you don't mind my saying so, I was right pretty. At least, that's what my mom and papa told me. Yes, I was a young woman then, ready to make my way into the world. I studied hard, worked long hours, and at the ripe old age of 19 became a licensed governess. A little like Mary Poppins, you might say, except I couldn't fly. That was way back in 1883. Oh, and I certainly didn't need a wheelchair back then, now did I?
No, Beatrix, you may not. Please, Mother, no arguing now. But I'm tired of being taught by governesses. You let Bertram go to school, why can't I?
We sent your brother to a fine private academy where wealthy young boys go.
What about wealthy young girls?
They stay home to be tutored.
Beg pardon, ma'am, but the new governess is here.
Thank you, Yvette. Tell her I shall be right out.
Why are governesses always old and look like dried-up prunes?
Shush! Mind your manners. She might hear you.
I hope she does.
Incidentally, I've instructed her that your sketch pad is to be used strictly for your lessons. You've been forbidden to draw until you have shown more progress in your studies. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I will send in the governess.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
My name's Annie, Annie Carter.
But I was expecting my new governess.
I am your new governess.
But you don't look much older than I am, and you don't look like
A dried-up prune.
not at all. But you do look like I might like you.
Let's hope so. What are you holding behind your back?
Nothing.
The other hand, please. It's a drawing.
It's nothing really, just a sketch of a rabbit.
Who taught you to draw?
No one really. We just picked it up on our own. We? My brother Bertram and I, on our summer vacation in Scotland, the only place where I've ever been truly happy.
I was told you're not allowed to draw until your studies improve.
Are you going to tell my parents?
I'm afraid so.
Oh no.
I'm going to tell them that their daughter is a fine artist who ought to be encouraged in her work.
Oh, I am going to like you, Miss Annie.
You may change your mind when you find out what I have to teach you first. German.
German? I'll never learn German. Oh well, I still predict we'll be best friends.
Die Freuden.
Die Freuden?
It's German, for the friend.
Oh. Hello, Die Freuden, Annie.
Hello, Die Freuden, Beatrix. And you said you'd never learn German. You're speaking it already.
Come, let's have tea before we begin.
Beatrix's prediction came true. She and I became the best of friends. After our lessons, we would have walks, share talks, and share secrets with one another. I felt more like her sister than her governess. And as the months went by, I learned things from her as well. On our nature walks, she would tell me the names of wild mushrooms and mosses on the trees. And she would draw pictures of them at every opportunity.
Beatrix.
Yes, Father.
Oh, I bought these for you today. Some original paintings by a Mr. Caldecott. I think they'd be perfect for a child's room, don't you?
I think they're perfect for my room. Thank you, Father.
Oh, and Beatrix, I've decided to allow you to take art lessons.
Papa!
It seems your governess has convinced me that you may have a bit of talent.
Oh, thank you, Papa. Art lessons. At last. Oh, Annie, thank you.
It took me almost 2 years to convince him.
Well, he is a bit stubborn, you know, but he's a good heart, and so is Mum, though I do wish they'd stop thinking of me as a child.
Beatrix, there's something else I spoke to your father about.
Oh?
I told him I shall be leaving soon.
Annie, no!
I've met a wonderful man. His name is Edwin Moore. He's asked me to marry him.
But what about me? Who will I go on walks with? Who will I tell my secrets to?
Your friends.
I have no friends, just you. I want to get married too.
You will, someday.
How could I? My parents keep me cooped up in this house all the time. Oh, I'm so miserable I could die.
Beatrix. She didn't die, of course, but she did become ill for some time. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with her, but she recovered in a month or two. Meanwhile, I was settling into my new home with my new husband. Before I knew it, a whole year had flown by.
Well, I'm off to my job. Why, love?
I'll see you when you get home.
Say, you don't still miss your old job, do you?
I miss Beatrix, of course, but I like what I have now even better, and what I'm going to get even better yet.
Wait a minute. How do you know what you're gonna get? Who told you?
The doctor, of course.
Doctor. Bless my soul. How did he know I was getting you a brand new kitchen table for our anniversary?
He told me we're going to have a baby.
It's been the carpenter who lives on the same street. The doctor told you what?
We're going to have a baby.
Oh, baby.
A baby.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Oh, that's right, you did. Oh, look at me behaving like a turkey on Thanksgiving. I've got to be gentle with you now.
I'll be fine. The baby won't be here for 7 more months. And you'd better get to your job. You're going to have to work harder than ever now to support a family.
You bet I will.
By the way, thank you for the new kitchen table.
Now, who told you about that?
You did.
Oh, that's right. So I did. Good morning, Willoughby. Guess what me and Annie's getting for our anniversary?
A new kitchen table.
Everyone knows that. Well, guess what else?
Before long, the new baby arrived. He was born on Christmas Eve, so we named him Noel.
Should have named him Jingle Bells.
Oh, go on with you. Before long, Noel had a little sister. Her name was Marjorie.
Papa, may I hold the new baby? I won't drop her, I promise.
Well, perhaps, son. Come along now.
Then came Eric.
I want to play with him. I want to play with him. I want to.
Children,
I
come
want
along
to.
now.
Next was our second daughter, Frida.
I want to hold her. I want to play with her. She's my sister.
Guys, come on now.
Then came sweet little Nora.
I want to hold her. You held her yesterday. No, I didn't. I haven't played with her all day. I think it's my turn.
Guys.
Yes, it was quite a lively household around here.
Please, Papa, I'll take care of him. I'll take care of him. We'll all take care of him.
All right, let me ask your mother.
What's the ruckus about this time?
Well, the children and I were wondering if maybe we can get ourselves a puppy dog to play with.
Please.
After having 5 children in 6 years, I think I would like a puppy next time.
Get us one.
Poor Edwin. He had to work so hard to support the family, we hardly ever saw him. It was quite a houseful, all right, but it was a happy house. There were the usual spats and bumps and bruises, of course, but everything went pretty smoothly until the scarlet fever epidemic descended on London and the whole countryside.
Mum,
Yes, Noel?
I don't feel very well.
Let me see. Oh, you have a fever.
My head aches.
I'd better get you to bed right away. I'll send your father for the doctor. Edwin! Edwin!
Oh no. This is terrible.
What is it, dear?
It's Annie's boy, Noel. He has the fever. He's very sick. I must go see him.
Nonsense. You'll do nothing of the sort.
Annie's the only friend I ever had. I must go help her.
Beatrix, scarlet fever is a highly contagious disease.
You shan't go to that house. That's final.
Is it because of the scarlet fever? Or because you don't think their family's as good as ours?
Oh,
That's enough, Beatrix. Your mother is right. You are not allowed to leave this house during the epidemic.
I'm not allowed to leave this house, period.
Perhaps you could write a letter to the boy. Send him one of your drawings to cheer him up.
Mother probably won't even allow me to do that.
It will be our little secret. I'll make sure Thomas delivers the message.
Very well. I will write something to Noel. I've never written to a child before. I hardly know what to say. My dear Noel, I don't know what to write to you, so I shall tell you a story about 4 rabbits whose names were
Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter.
They lived with their mother under the root of a very big fir tree.
Now, my dears, you may go into the lane or down the field, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was made into a pie.
to gather blackberries. But Peter, who is very naughty, ran straight to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. Ooh. Ah, lettuces. Ah, beans. Oh, radishes. Ah, Mr. McGregor! Ah!
Stop! Dave!
Help! Help!
The little rascal lost his shoes. He won't get very far without these.
Now I'll head for the gate. Oh. Oh no! Oh! My jacket's caught in the gooseberry net! Oh, I'm sure to be made into a pie! Just like my father! Oh! I should have listened to my mother! Oh. Hello, little sparrows. Can you help me?
You must exert yourself, Peter.
We implore you to exert yourself. Exert myself. What does that mean?
It means...
Now where is that rabbit?
Here he comes! My jacket's caught in the net!
We'll help you out of the jacket.
Thank you, friends. Oh, I'll never forget you. Now I'll head for the gate.
He has got to be out here somewhere.
Oh, too late. I have to hide somewhere. How about in that shed?
There's a watering can inside the shed.
Good. I'll hide in the watering can. Thank you.
Get out of here, sparrows! Isn't it bad enough that I got a rabbit eating up my garden?
Now, what do we have here? A little jacket to go with his shoes. I know. I can make a scarecrow out of these things. That'll keep the birds away at least.
Oh, there's just one thing wrong with hiding in a watering can. Oh, it usually has water in it. I can hardly see. I don't even know where the gate is, and I'm not feeling too well either. Oh, I think I ate too much from that garden, and all this running around has made me sick. Oh.
There. That should do the trick. Now, which way did he go? Come back here, thief!
I'm going to run all the way home, and I'm never going into Mr. McGregor's garden again.
Peter, where have you been? You're all wet and cold. And where are your shoes and jacket?
I don't feel well. I've had a bad day.
And you've been a bad rabbit. Quiet, go in and eat your supper.
We're going to have warm bread
And fresh milk.
And blackberries.
Oh, I'm not well.
Well, I'll put you straight to bed and give you a tablespoonful of chamomile tea.
while we have warm bread.
And fresh milk.
And blackberries.
Oh, I'm really not well. But at least I'm safe.
And that's the story of
Peter Rabbit, who never went back to Mr. McGregor's garden again. You go to bed immediately.
We were good little rabbits today.
He was lucky he wasn't made into a pie.
Haunting of Peter Rabbit. We read the story over and over again. We even acted it out. Before long, Noel was completely over the scarlet fever. But a little later, we had another illness in the family.
Mom,
Yes, Marjorie?
I feel poorly.
Let me see. You seem all right to me.
But I'm not. I think I have starlight fever.
Starlight fever?
You know, like Noel had.
Dear, the scarlet fever epidemic is over, thank goodness.
Well, I have something awful. I'm going to bed and cover up. And please tell Miss Potter how sick I am. She would want to know.
I see.
Oh, and Mom, would you please bring me a tablespoon of chamomile tea?
Chamomile tea? What have we started here? Coming, dear.
Mother, this paper I've written is not just about mushrooms, it's about fungi in general.
What difference does it make?
It makes a great deal of difference to the Linnean Society of London, which will be hearing my paper and examining these drawings.
Beatrix, I'm afraid I must prohibit you from going into London to present this paper.
That's all right, I've already been prohibited.
By your father?
By the Linnean Society itself. One of the members will read it. Women are not allowed to present their own papers.
Nor should they be allowed to write them.
Mother, women can be just as good at science as men, and if they like my paper, it will be published in a journal.
And you'll become a writer and leave your father and me.
Mother, I can stay in my own room and write. I won't leave you, even though I'm old enough to be married.
Married? Are you seeing someone?
How could I? I'm never out of your sight.
Very well. We'll have Thomas take it into the society when he goes to town to buy food for the dinner party.
Thank you, Mother.
Providing that you help with the dinner arrangements. Or is that a task below a woman of science?
Of course, I'll help.
Good. It's a very important affair. I think Dr. Doyle and his wife are coming.
Did you invite anyone for me?
Oh, it slipped my mind. Perhaps next time.
It's always next time.
Then that gives you something to look forward to.
Dexter, old chap. Excellent presentation.
As was yours, Bodkins. Positively inspired.
You were both brilliant, as always.
Thanks, Massey, old boy.
But I was stuck up on reading this one, on the germination of the spores of the Agaricinae. Tut, tut, tut.
An hypothesis full of holes.
No conclusive evidence whatsoever.
What can you expect from an uneducated scientist?
An untrained artist.
A woman, no less.
I shall write to Miss Potter a polite but pointed rejection.
Good idea, Macy.
Well, shall we go to the pub for a pint or two?
Indeed, we've earned it.
Well then, tally-ho!
Dexter, old boy. I saw the original period of regeneration.
Miss Beatrix,
Yes, Lex.
here is the morning mail, and there's something for you.
Something for me. That's unusual.
2 letters this morning.
My lucky day. Thank you, Yvette. Oh, good. The one I've been waiting for. But we regret to inform you. What do they mean my hypothesis is incorrect? I studied those spores firsthand, not like a group of pompous old men who sit in their office all day. So much for my future in fungi. All that work, the research. Perhaps Mother's right. My only future is here, bossing the servants, running the house, living in my own little world. Oh, almost forgot the other letter. It's from Annie. My dear Beatrix, I am writing to request an unusual favor of you. Starlight fever. So if you could write a brief story and draw a few pictures as you did for Noel. Of course I will. This very minute, as a matter of fact. A group of snobby old men might not listen to my words, but I know 5 very bright children who will. Now what shall I write about? I know. That legend I heard when I visited my cousin in Gloucester. That shall make a dandy story. My dear Frida, because you are ill, here is a story, a new one that nobody has ever read before. In the time of swords and periwigs and full-skirted coats, there lived a tailor in Gloucester. All day long he sewed and snippeted, piecing out his satin and pompadour and lutestring. But although he sewed fine silk for his customers, he himself was very, very
poor. Poor's the mice that run about this house. Now what's wrong with those mice today? Never heard them squeak that loudly. Oh, hello, Simpkin. Now you've been after the mice, haven't you? Very well. I want you to go to market for me. I have only 4 pence in this world, but Saturday is Christmas, so we should eat well. Go and buy a pennyworth each of bread, milk, and sausage. That leaves only 1 penny to my name. Now, who's that at the door? Come in, mademoiselle.
Are you the tailor of Gloucester?
Indeed I am.
I have an order for you. A fine, elegant long coat and a matching waistcoat. Here are the dimensions. They must be done by Christmas morning.
Oh, sir, Christmas is 4 days away. I can't.
The coats are for my master, the Mayor of Gloucester.
The mayor.
Mm-hmm. Christmas is his wedding day. He is prepared to pay. Very, very well indeed.
Oh, but it is such short notice.
Well, shall I go elsewhere?
Oh, no. I can do it.
Good. We shall come for the coats on Christmas morning.
Oh, Simpkin, did you hear? The mayor wants me to make him his wedding coats. Oh, do I have materials? Let's see. Cherry-colored silk for the long coat and cream-colored satin for the waistcoat. Pocket flaps and cuffs, buttons. All I need is a skein of cherry-colored twist to sew it all together, and to make 6 buttonholes. So I'm going to take my last penny and buy a skein of cherry-colored twist. Now hurry! I must get started right away. First to measure, then to cut. Oh no, what was that tapping I just heard? No, perhaps my imagination. Now, I must get these 2 pieces perfectly lined up so that... Now, there it is again. Oh, could it be my heart pounding? I'm so nervous to get this job done well, and to do it in such a short time. Now I hear cups rattling in the pantry. Who is in here? Oh, aha! Well, hello, little mice. What were you doing under the cups in the pantry? Oh, Simpkin caught you, and then turned the cups over top of you, and captured you for a feast. Well, in celebration of Christmas, I'll release you. Have a happy holiday, little mice. Now run along before Simpkin comes and catches you again. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. These 2 pieces match perfectly. All I need is the twist to sew it together. Now imagine me making coats for the mayor's wedding day. Okay, Simpkin, you've returned. Let's see. The milk, bread, and sausage. Now for the most important item, the twist. Simpkin, where are you? You didn't give me the twist. Give me the twist at once. Well, where are the mice? I set them free in the spirit of the season. Come, you can eat with me. Simpkin. Oh, she jumped out the window. She's running down the street. Simpkin, stop, I say. Oh, she's paying me back for letting her mice go free. Oh, now I have no twist to make the mayor's coats. Woe is me. I'm just feeling so ill. I must lie down.
The poor tailor who set us free seems fitful. He has a high fever. He will never be able to complete the coats for the mayor. I wish there was something we could do to help. Perhaps we could sew the cloths together. But we have no twist. The nasty old Simpkin took it with her. Poor fellow.
Well, I have punished my master for 3 days. I think that's long enough. Oh, he's asleep. Here, master. Here's your twist. You'd better get busy. Christmas is tomorrow. Come on. Wow. Wake up. Wake up and get to work. Is he sick? He's very ill. Now he'll never be able to finish the mayor's wedding coats. And it's all because of my selfishness. I'm sorry, master.
Poor fellow. He's still sick and he has no strength at all. But he does have the twist. Oh, that rascal Simpkin must have felt guilty and brought it back. But it's too late. Unless. Come on, gang. We have work to do. Four and 20 tailors went to catch a snail. The best man among them durst not touch her tail. She put out her horns like a Kylo cow. Run, tailor, run, or she'll have you all and now. Hurry! The cherry-colored coat is almost finished. Seek my lady's oatmeal, grind my lady's flour, put it in a chestnut, let it stand an hour. Done! Beautiful! But we haven't finished yet. I must now sew the cherry-colored waistcoat. Oh, hurry! 3 little mice sat down to spin. Pussy passed by and she peeped in. What are you at, my fine little men? Making coats for a gentleman. Shall I come in and cut off your threads? Oh no, Miss Pussy, you'll bite off our heads. Almost complete. Hey, diddle diggity poppity pet, the branches of London they wear scarlet, silk in the collar and golden hem. So merrily march the merchant men. It's Christmas Day! Just have to finish the last buttonhole. Oh no. We're out of twist. I can't do the final buttonhole. Let it be. But we can at least leave a note of explanation. Hurry. The Mariners footman will be here any minute.
Master, wake up. The mayor and his footmen are here.
Oh, hello, Simpkin. Oh, how long have I been in bed? I had such strange dreams.
I say, is anyone there?
Oh no. They're here for the coats. It must be Christmas already.
Hurry up, Taylor. The mare is here to be fitted.
Well, there's nothing to do but tell the truth. You were a naughty cat, Simpkin, but it was my fault for letting your mice go free, so I'll forgive you.
Taylor, are you in there?
Yes, yes, yes. Come in, sir. Oh, good morrow, your lordship.
I understand you do excellent work, Taylor.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor, but I'm afraid you'll be quite disappointed. You see, I had the beautiful fabrics and the cuffs and buttons, but I had no twist. So I sent Simpkin to go buy the twist, but she
Fetched it. You used it.
Ooh.
And here are the coats.
Excellent. I am not disappointed in the least.
Oh, try this one on, my lord.
Ooh.
How did this happen?
Ah, magnificent. To think you only did the work in 4 days. Oh,
A perfect fit, my lord.
oh, this is what it is.
Oh, but what is this? A note on the waistcoat. No more twist.
Ah, yes, the last buttonhole could not be completed because there was...
No more twist.
Precisely.
But all the other buttonholes look so neat and precise. It's almost if they were made by mice.
Mice.
Nice.
But to be honest, I like the waistcoat this way. Now I do not have to button it at the bottom. It gives me more room for the wedding feast.
Speaking of that wedding, we must be off, my lord.
I would like to invite you and your cat to my wedding feast.
Oh, thank you, Your Grace. You're more than kind.
No problem. And upon reaching my mansion, I shall pay you double, nay, triple, for your marvelous work. In time, you shall be a rich man, Taylor.
And in shorter time, you will be a married man, my lord. We must be off.
Come, Taylor. Come, cat. I would like to celebrate this joyous occasion. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Thanks in a very large part to the tale of Rashter, Marjorie recovered remarkably from her bout with starlight fever. And Beatrix wrote picture stories to the other children as well. The letters were so delightful. I told Beatrix that she should have them made into books so that all children could enjoy them. Finally, 8 years after she wrote Peter Rabbit, Beatrix borrowed the original letter from Noel, made 6 copies of it, and sent them to 6 different publishers. It wasn't long till they responded.
Sorry. Regrets. Not at this time. Not for our market. Not for readers. But thank you very much. 6 rejections.
There, I hope that'll put an end to this foolishness about publishing a book.
I'm sorry, Beatrix dear.
At least this one said thank you very much.
Warren and Company. I'm afraid they've also turned you down, my dear. But you gave it a good try anyway.
Now may we all try to have some dinner while 'tis still warm?
Are you coming, Beatrix?
I'm not very hungry.
Very well.
Papa,
Yes?
I want to publish Peter Rabbit myself.
Yourself? But you have no printing press.
I mean, I want to pay to have it published.
And what will you use for money?
Those bank stocks you gave me?
But those stocks are for your future.
I'm always living for the future. I want to live now, in the present for a change. There's a small printing company on Tower Street. They'll print as few as 250 copies. Please, Papa.
Does it really mean that much to you?
I just want to see my story and my pictures in a book. All I ever wanted to do is write.
Very well. On one condition.
Anything, Papa.
Don't tell your mother. Or we'll both be in the soup. Now, speaking of soup, it is waiting for us on the table. That is, if your appetite has returned.
Yes, Papa. It suddenly has.
Here it is, the very first printed copy of Peter Rabbit, privately printed by Beatrix Potter. She gave most of the copies away, but she did manage to sell a few to family and friends.
9, 10, 11, 12. This bit of money means more to me than all the wealth my family has ever had.
Miss Beatrix,
Yes, Yvette.
here is the morning mail, and there's a gentleman here to see you.
I'm not expecting anyone, especially a gentleman. Send him in, Yvette.
Right away.
Dr. Doyle, how very nice of him to write to me.
Miss Potter,
Yes?
I'm Norman Wan of Wan and Company.
Oh, yes, the book publisher. What can I do for you, Mr. Warren?
First, I'd like permission to set this down.
Of course. What is it?
A dollhouse. I made it for my niece who lives in the area. I didn't want to leave it out in the carriage. The sun might walk the wood.
It's lovely. And you made it.
It's my hobby. My real job is working as a book editor with my brothers.
Please.
Which brings me to why I'm here. We are reconsidering your story for possible publication.
That's wonderful.
Yes, I told my brothers I would call on you since my niece lives in the area.
Do you and your wife also live in the area, Mr. Warren?
I'm not married.
I see.
Well, I shall get back in touch with you as soon as we reach a final decision.
Oh, perhaps this might help in a way. An endorsement, you might say. It's from a man who read my story to his children.
With sincere admiration, Dr. Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. I'd say it's a first-rate endorsement. I'll show it to my brothers. Well, I'm afraid I must be off now. Nice to have met you.
Don't forget the dollhouse.
Oh, goodness, my mind got sidetracked there for a moment.
Look at the little furniture and the tiny dishes of food.
It's all plaster, see? The food's glued to the plates.
Where are the dolls?
My niece already has them. Lucinda and Jane, they're called.
Well, Lucinda and Jane should be very pleased with their new home.
I hope so. Good day, Miss Potter.
Mr. Warren. Is it possible? Might they really publish my book? Oh, I can't stay still. I must write Annie about this. Is that door need oiling again? That's not a door, that's mice. Go back to your home, you two. I'll write a story about you. Wait a minute. I like that idea. I like that idea very much. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful dollhouse. It belonged to two dolls, Lucinda and Jane. But Lucinda never ordered meals and Jane never did any cooking because the dinner had been bought ready-made. There were 2 lobsters, a ham, a fish, some pears and oranges. They were artificial, of course, but they were extremely beautiful. One day, Lucinda and Jane decided to go out. Jane, dear.
Yes, Lucinda?
Shall we go for a drive in the perambulator?
I should be delighted to. Will our house be safe?
Perfectly. There's nothing to disturb it except for perhaps a mouse or two. And what harm can they do?
None at all.
Then let us be off to the perambulator. Presently, there was a little scuffling, scratching noise in the corner of the house. Tom Thumb put his head out. Tom Thumb was a mouse. A minute afterwards, his wife, Hunca Munca, put her head out too.
Hey, Hunca Munca, look, it's a house. Inside a house!
Oh, it seems to be, sweetie.
Blimey, look at the lovely dinner laid out on the table.
Fit for a king it is, Tom.
And a queen too, I reckon, Hunca Munca.
Oh, go on.
I'll do the honors and carve the hand, me love.
Such a gentleman.
Why, it's hot as concrete, it is. Well, we can have the fish for now. It's tougher than the ham.
Oh, so are the lobsters.
And the bread as well.
Everything's stuck to the dishes.
It's a trick being played on us.
Black magic, I say 'tis.
No one pulls a fast one on Tom Thumb.
Or Hunca Munca.
We'll show them.
You bet.
Oh, and for all our troubles, I think the occupants of this here house should reward us for something like this chair. It's about me size.
And I can use the other for me backside.
And then we'll come back for the table.
And the cupboard.
And everything else for what they done to us.
Let's go, Tom.
Right behind you, Hunca Munca.
Lovely ride, Lucinda.
Pleasant indeed, Jane, my dear.
Oh, no!
What has happened?
We've been intruded upon.
Look at this mess.
And the chairs have been stolen.
We must call for the authorities.
Help! Help!
Authorities! Authorities! And when we get the cupboards, we'll come back for the... It's the bobbies!
Morning, ladies. Did you call?
Oh, look! It's a bobby!
It's a Jimmy. Jimmy Witherspoon at your service, man. A royal member of Her Majesty's mighty police. You've been intruded upon.
My words exactly.
Now, who would do such a rotten thing to a couple of dolls like you? Robbing a dollhouse like this?
Dollhouse?
It's terrible.
We've never done anything to anybody.
There. Calm down. Come with me to the station and I'll write up a report on the vandals and thieves.
Vandals? Thieves? Us? Oh, and two innocent dolls.
Oh, I feel terrible.
I ain't felt so bad since I cheated on my fourth grade arithmetic exam.
You got caught?
No, the chap I cheated off of got all the wrong answers. Bring the chairs back, Hunca Munca.
Oh, it's the right and proper thing to do. Pick up this food. Put it back on the table. Oh, now look at this. We broke off a bit of the food.
Oh, and we scratched the table a trifle.
Oh, what are we going to do about that?
Repay him with this.
What's that?
The crooked sixpence I found in the hearthrug last Christmas Eve.
The sixpence we were saving for our retirement?
The very same. To repair the damages. It's the right and proper thing to do.
Here we are, ladies.
Shh! The back!
Thank you, sir.
Very good of you, sir.
Look! Everything has been restored.
Our home is neat and tidy again.
Just a little tip of the food.
And a little scratch on the table.
But what's this?
A crooked sixpence.
Left behind, no doubt, by the repentant thieves.
Not thieves, sir. Just innocent passerbys who temporarily went astray.
And came back to mend their ways.
It's a storm, you bitch, hunkamonka. Thank you ever so much, sir.
Would you care to stay for tea?
I'm on duty, ma'am, but I am off at 4.
Then we'll have tea at 4.
Precisely 4.
Delighted.
May we show you out, Bobby?
Jimmy.
Oh yes, Jimmy.
Jimmy Witherspoon, a royal member of Her
Majesty's Mighty Police.
Right, and jolly good of you to invite me to tea.
Our pleasure.
After all,
it's the right and proper thing to do.
By now, Beatrix had written several stories, but none of them were made into books, except the one she published herself. She wondered if anyone other than a few friends would ever read her stories. Then, one day, she received a letter from Warren Publishing Company.
Could you meet with us at your earliest convenience? I can meet even earlier than that. Yvette, can you fetch me my best dress? You know, the one I never get a chance to wear.
And so, Beatrix was off to Frederick Corning Company to a meeting which would literally and literarily change her life forever.
Norman! Yes, Harold.
Here's another letter from that worthy woman inquiring about her manuscript. When you reject these would-be authors, don't be so polite. Say no and be done with it.
Yes, Harold.
Also, I've decided to work with Miss Greenway on that new book of hers. That leaves you to edit the rabbit story. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, no, not at all. After all, if you insist. I mean, you are the senior editor.
For now, yes. I may retire someday, but don't count on it.
Dasgilly, I need to speak with you about last month's sales figures.
Good afternoon, Mr. Warren.
Miss Potter, thank you for coming to our offices.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm pleased to inform you that the editorial board of Warren Company has unanimously agreed to publish The Adventures of Peter Rabbit.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
However,
Yes,
a very demanding editor has been assigned to work with you.
I see. An ogre, no doubt.
Oh, much worse. After he spends the full day attacking your manuscript, he may ask you out to dinner.
It's you.
I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. I'm very pleased.
Where did you learn to write for children, Miss Potter?
Actually, I just write stories to please myself because I never really grew up. Well, shall we begin?
How about now?
Fine.
First, we'll go up to the layout room and discuss your artworks. There seems to be a Caldecott influence, and I'd like to see your own style emerge a bit more.
The Tale of Peter Rabbit was published in October of 1902. It was an immediate success. Readers were enchanted with Beatrix Potter's simple story and elegant illustrations. Other stories followed in short order. The Tailor of Gloucester, The Squirrel Nutkin, The Two Bad Mice, and many others were in the works. Everyone was delighted with the success of the budding new author. Well, not quite everyone, as Beatrix would soon learn when she went to visit her parents at their summer vacation home.
Rupert, I think I see Beatrix coming up the path. Let's go meet her. Ah, there you are.
Hello, Mother.
Aren't the gardens lovely?
Beautiful as always. Now, Mother, I'll stay 2 weeks and not a day longer.
A month anyway, at least until Bertram arrives.
I'd love to see him, but the proofs for my new books are waiting for me at Warren's. By the way, have I received anything from them?
From whom, dear?
Warren Company, my publisher?
Perhaps a letter. It can wait.
It can't wait. I'm expecting a contract which I have to sign.
Oh, very well.
Thank you.
All this business makes my head swim. It's so commonplace and bothersome and
exciting. Ah, here's the contract. And a letter from Norman. Oh, Mr. Warren.
I do wish you would come to your senses.
Mother?
Yes?
There's something else in this envelope.
A ring?
An engagement ring. Norman has asked me to marry him.
Marry? But he's a tradesman, a member of the working class.
He's a fine man, from a fine family. I've known Norman for 3 years, and I'm going to marry him.
You're too young to marry.
Mother, I'm 38 years old.
Well, wait till you're 40.
Mother, I'm a grown woman now.
Yes, you are. But you're still my daughter living in my home. Though I cannot forbid this marriage, I can keep it secret from all but the immediate families. And there's no announcement made of this.
As you wish, Mother.
Oh no, what are we going to do? She's going to leave us for good.
Ah, there you are, my dear. Shall we head to the sailing races on Saturday?
It's all your fault, Rupert.
What?
You should have never given her that sketch pad on her 7th birthday.
Sketchpad? Birthday? Helen, dear, what on earth are you talking about?
Things do not always work out as we had planned, as it was with Beatrix and her pending marriage to Norman Warren. Just 2 weeks after she received the engagement ring, Norman died. He passed away suddenly from a blood disease, which no one, including him, was aware of. In her grief, Beatrix buried herself in her work to escape the pain of her deep loss. Norman Warren would always be a part of her writing and a part of her life.
Beatrix, dear.
Yes, Mother?
Now that this very unpleasant business is behind you, I ask that you drop your notions of writing and become a woman befitting your class.
Mother,
since I am getting older, you shall oversee the proper running of this home.
Yes, Mother, I shall oversee a proper running of the home.
Good. At last you've come to your senses.
But it will not be the running of this house. What do you mean? I bought a farm in near Surrey.
A farm in near Surrey? But where did you get the money?
From the sale of my books.
But where will the servants come from?
There will be no servants. I will work the farm myself.
Yourself? Well, at least I'll put an end to your books.
To the contrary, I will write more books now than ever before. Norman once said that more people will read my stories than those of any children's author in the world. And many more books to write to fulfill Norman's faith in me.
I never understood children. It's fortunate I only had 2.
I'm not sure any of us understands children completely, but that didn't stop Edward and me from having a big family. After the first 5 children, we added 3 more girls, Joan, Hilda, and the baby here.
Hello there.
Beatrix.
Annie dear. And the baby.
Little Beatrix herself. I was going to name the last one after you, even if it had been a boy.
Here's a gift for my godchild, a namesake. And I have a new story for the others.
They'll be delighted.
I wanted to try it out on them before it was published. I find it much more satisfactory to address real-life children. I think that was the secret of Peter Rabbit's success. It was written to a child. Dear sweet Noel.
The children are in the garden. Let's gather them, and we can read the story together. What's the new story about?
Well, it concerns a frog called Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little damp house amongst the buttercups at the edge of the pond.
Ah, a fine day for fishing. I have my pole of grassweed, my line of horsehair, and my bait of worms. I shall catch a mess of minnows for my dinner tonight. Oh, upon my word! Who comes here? A tortoise and a newt. Why, it's Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise.
Morning, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
And Sir Isaac Newton.
Top of the day, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
Where are you going?
Fishing, Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise. For a mess of fine minnows, Sir Isaac Newton.
So would say, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
My good gentlemen, both of you are invited to my home amongst the buttercups at the edge of the pond for a fine fish dinner.
But what if you do not catch any fish?
A query of quality that.
Gentlemen, I am, by my very name, a fisherman.
Right, then we shall arrive at your house this evening, Mr. Jeremy Fisher. After you, Sir Isaac Newton.
No, after you, Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise.
Oh, very well. Walk this way.
Froggy would a woo and go when he dressed himself from top to toe. Ribbit. A froggy would a woo and go. Ribbit. A froggy would a woo and go. Ribbit. A froggy would a woo and go when he dressed himself from top to toe. Ribbit. Aha! I do believe I have my first minnow. Oh no!
Oh, yes.
I have caught a little Jack Sharp again. I do not want you, Jack Sharp. You're a stickleback, covered in spines. Ouch! Don't stick me like that!
Then stop catching me like that.
It was not my intention, I assure you.
Now, please throw me back in. And don't catch me again.
Well, don't nibble my bait again.
Fella's gotta eat someplace.
A stickleback is impossible to eat. Its only purpose on a dinner table would be to provide toothpicks. I say, that took a bit out of me. What do I have for lunch today? Ah, yes, a delicious butterfly sandwich. Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Ooh, ribbit. Oh, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Ooh, ribbit. Oh, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Only if Uncle Rat will agree. Ooh, ribbit. Uh-huh. Now I have a minnow. Now I have a fish. Now I have a whale of a trout. Oh no! A trout's favorite meal is...
That's right, Mr. Frog. Welcome to dinner. My dinner.
Help! Help!
Now let's go to the bottom of the pond where I live. Now for dinner. Ew! You taste like old wet wool. Here, I'm spitting you back out. You're the worst tasting frog I've ever had. Next time, send some of your relatives, the good tasting ones.
My goodness, that was close. Thank heavens for this old wool Macintosh of mine. When he bit into it, he thought it was me. Oh, I am too undone to fish any longer today. I must pack up and go home. Dear me. Dear me. Dear me. Oh. Why, hello, Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise and Sir Jeremy Fisher. I regret to say that I have no minnows for dinner.
We anticipated as much, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
So we have brought a fine garden salad for dinner.
Oh, excellent! And I do believe I have at home a fine roasted grasshopper and a delicious ladybird sauce. Will you accompany me to my house amongst the buttercups at the edge of the pond, Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise?
I shall indeed be happy to accompany you to your house, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
And you, Sir Isaac Newton?
Delighted, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
Very well, gentlemen. Walk this way. Froggy, what a woo and go, ribbit.
Froggy, what a woo and go,
ribbit.
Froggy, what a woo and go. He dressed himself from top to toe,
ribbit.
Froggy, what a woo and go. Froggy, what a woo and go. Froggy, what a woo and go. He dressed himself from top to toe. Froggy, what a woo and go. Froggy, what a woo and go.
Beatrix, I do wish you'd let Thomas carry those boxes.
He's carrying the heavy ones. Besides, I don't mind doing some of the work.
Oh, that word.
I've got to go. Bye, Mother. Will you and Papa visit me in the farm next month?
We'll try.
Mother, what's that contraption you've been carrying around the last couple of days?
Just a little project.
Project?
Nothing much. Just something I'm doing for a little group I've joined.
What kind of group?
The Association for the Blind of London.
Mother, you're transcribing books into Braille for the blind.
Well, with you going away to that farm of yours, I knew I'd have some extra time on my hands, so I volunteered.
That's wonderful.
I'm still slow at this. I'm not used to doing things for other people.
Come in, Thomas. Papa.
Hello, Beatrix.
Oh,
Let me get that for you.
what are you doing home?
Oh. I'm delivering a letter to you. It was brought to me at the club by Dr. Massey. Do you remember him?
I don't think so.
He's with the Linen Society of London.
Oh, the fungus fellows.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, they wanted to apologize. It seems that hypothesis of yours turned out to be correct after all.
Hopefully for them.
It's too bad, though.
If they had made the discovery sooner, I might still be writing dreadfully dull scientific papers, which would be read by all 5 people.
Oh, 6. I've always read what you wrote, whether I liked it or not.
That you have, Papa. That you have.
Hilltop Farm gave Beatrix more pleasure and inspiration than she had ever known. During the next 5 years, she wrote 10 new stories, all of which were published, and some were even translated into foreign languages. But the world-famous author was still just a farm girl at heart.
Come back here, Jemima Puddleduck. I need to check your feathers for mites. There you are. I'll catch you. I'm a faster duck than you are, old girl.
Beatrix gave names to almost all the animals at Hilltop Farm, and she put many of them in her stories, but none was more memorable nor endearing than the tale of Jemima Puddleduck.
Jemima Puddleduck. Hello, Rebecca Puddleduck. How's my sister-in-law today?
I've no complaints.
Well, I do.
What's that, Jemima Puddleduck?
Just this, Rebecca Puddleduck. I want to lay my eggs and hatch them, but Farmer's wife won't let me. She takes the eggs and cooks them for her family.
I'm glad she takes my eggs. I haven't the patience to sit on a nest for 28 days to hatch some little ducklings.
Hello, my fine feathered friends. Have you laid any eggs for me this morning? Good girl, Rebecca, and here's some corn for you. What about you, Jemima? Don't pick me, you silly bird. I know you want to hatch your eggs, but we have enough on this farm as it is. Good girl, and here's some corn for you.
Let's go to the puddle for a swim, Jemima Puddleduck.
Oh, the puddle is not for me, Rebecca Puddleduck. I am going to leave this farm straight away and go somewhere else to lay my eggs and hatch them.
Good luck, Jemima Puddleduck. I do admire your pluck.
Ah, I see some woods in the distance. That will be a safe place to lay my eggs and hatch them. I will fly right over. Perfect. Here's an open space in the ground. A lovely spot to pursue my project.
Morning, madam.
My, what an elegant-looking gentleman.
Have you lost your way, my dear?
I'm only searching for a place to lay my eggs and hatch them. This seems to be a good location.
But it is unprotected. Some wily, wicked wayfarer might come and steal your eggs. Of course, steal you.
Steal me? What for?
For a plump, succulent, delicious feast.
Sir?
I mean, feast your eyes over there.
Over there?
It is my summer residence. I have a cottage in the back, which would make an ideal place to lay your eggs.
Oh, it looks very comfortable.
And soft and tender. For laying your eggs.
Very well. I shall take you up on your offer. I shall lay 9 eggs and sit on them for the next 28 days and
hatch my family.
I shall hatch my family.
Beg pardon?
I mean hatch them on the spot, please. This way, I'll show you.
Thank you. I'm so fortunate to have met such a...
17, 18, 19. I'm missing one. I wonder who. Jemima. I haven't seen her in days. I hope she's all right. I'll have Kep the dog look for her. Kep, come here, boy.
Now, let's see. How does the market fare today?
Sir, I have laid all 9 eggs. I shall now sit on them for the next 4 weeks.
Oh, before you settle in, my dear, why don't we celebrate with a little dinner party?
Ooh! Is there anything I can do to help?
Perhaps there is. I need a few seasonings. Perhaps you could return to the garden and get them from the farm.
Of course.
We'll need sage, thyme, a bit of mint, 2 onions, and a sprig of parsley. In the meantime, I will get the pot on the water to a full boil.
I'll be right back.
Don't dally, my darling.
I won't. I certainly won't. What a fellow!
The perfect seasonings for a perfect duck dinner. And for dessert, I shall have a fine custard made from 9 delicious duck eggs. Ooh, now, those my biggest pots.
Let's see. Sage and thyme, check. Mint and parsley, check. 2 large onions, double check. It appears I have everything he ordered. Jemima. Oh, why, it's Kep the dog. Hello, Kep. Where have you been, girl? Oh, laying my eggs where the farmer's wife can't get them.
Oh, why are you doing that?
So I can hatch my eggs.
And where might that be?
In the shed behind the cottage of a fine gentleman.
What's his name?
He didn't say.
What's he look like?
Most elegant. Black, frizzly ears, sand-colored whiskers, divine eyes.
Sounds like quite a foxy fellow. What brings you back to the farm?
To collect some seasonings for our dinner party.
Dinner party?
To celebrate my 9 eggs. He's having me for dinner.
I'll bet he is.
Well, I must be off. I don't wish to keep my dinner companion waiting.
Barney, Chutney, get on out here!
Hi, Kep. What's up, Kep?
Hello, you little foxhound puppies. Why'd you call us, Kep? We're going to a dinner party.
Great. Who invited us?
We invited ourselves.
Oh, gee, Kep, we don't have anything to wear.
This is a come-as-you-are dinner party. I'll fill you in on the way over. But first, we have to get the scent of that duck. She went that way! You! You! You!
And then I said, why is it purple? He said, it adds to the flavor. Please. Needless to say, that was the last time I ever ate a pineapple. So the seasonings are in the pot, and the water has come to a full boil. Now time to add an ingredient to the main dish.
And what, pray, is that?
Oh, you mean who, pray, is that?
Well, yes. Who is the final ingredient to the main dish?
Look into my eyes. What do you see?
My handsome companion, of course.
I mean, what else do you see?
My reflection. Me.
That's the final ingredient to the main dish.
Oh.
I feel warm all over.
And in a minute, you'll feel even warmer all over.
Yes, I do think I'm headed in that
Right
direction.
in there,
Oh, wait a minute! Did you say I'm the main dish?
To be more precise, you're the whole delicious dinner.
Help! I've been outfoxed by get up, boys!
Oh, no. Wait. I'll share.
I bet you've seen the last of that fox for a while.
Thank you, Cat. Thank you. I can't wait to get back to the farm.
Here come the puppies. They've chased that old fox plumb away. He's probably gone for good. Good work, boys. Well, let's head back to the farm.
Just a minute. Let me get my eggs.
Jemima, wait. I'm afraid it's a little late for that.
They ate my eggs?
I had to promise them a little something for their troubles, you know, and puppies just love eggs.
Oh, well, I can always lay more eggs.
Thank you, friends. Thank you. I can't wait to get back to the farm and I'll never leave again. Yo! 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 Yo!
Beatrix Potter went on to write over 40 books, translated into 12 languages, and transcribed into 6 Braille editions for the blind. Her stories have been read by over 100 million children and adults. And it all started with a story about a little rabbit named Peter and a letter she wrote to a boy named Noel.
Were you calling, Mother?
I was recalling Noel, calling the story of Peter Rabbit and his friends, the animal kind and the human kind. But perhaps the friend I was remembering most today was the woman who brought us all together.
I've forgotten how steep that hill was. But I haven't forgotten anything else on this farm. It's all just the way it was.
Yes.
I can still see Miss Potter chasing the ducks, feeding the rabbits, petting the dogs, like it was only yesterday. I'll go warm up the car for us, Mom. I'll be right back.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Beatrix did finally get married to a nice country lawyer who lived right around here. She was 47 when she got married. Her mother begged her to wait till she was 50. Before she died a few years ago, Beatrix requested that her ashes be scattered over her beloved hilltop farm, right where we are. So, in a sense, here she still resides, and always will. At times, I can still hear her voice, and many of the voices she created as well.
I find it much more satisfactory to address real live children. I think that was the secret of Peter Rabbit's success. It was written to a child.
Oh, going to run all the way home, but I'm never going into Mr. McGregor's garden again.
Master, wake up! The mayor and his footmen are here.
I shall indeed be happy to accompany you to your house, Mr. Jeremy Fisher.
Can't wait to get back to the farm, and I'll never leave again. It's the right and proper thing to do.
I
I've just written stories to please myself because I never really grew up. All I ever wanted to do is write.